Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to learn how to make these ruched skirts with a side frill. So I used 2 yards of fabric for this, but if you want to get a fuller frills, you have to use 3 yards of fabric. This is a chiffon fabric, a thick chiffon, so I would suggest chiffon, duchess, and maybe doll face for this. So that is it guys. I will also show you guys how I drafted the pattern and how I made this dress. So first of all, I drafted a basic skirt pattern. This is my basic skirt pattern, and the pattern paper is on fold. I have my waistline, my hip line, my knee line. I also have my fabric. So you will need a basic skirt pattern for this skirt. So first of all, you have to lay out your fabric. So after that, you open up this pattern paper. I told you guys that it is on fold, so I'll open up this pattern paper and I'll extend the hip line and the knee line so that I will not get confused. So after that, I'll also go ahead and label the right side and the left side of this pattern paper. Like I told you guys, it has frills, and this frills is on the left hand side. If you want, you can place it on the right hand side as well. So I'll open up this pattern paper and then extend my hip line. My hip line from my waist is 10 inches and my knee line is 19 inches, but this will differ depending on the height of the person. So right now I'll go ahead and extend the line. So right now I'll label the right side and the left side so that we will not get confused. So after this, I'll go ahead and lay out my fabric. Then I'll have to place this pattern paper. I will spread the pattern paper on the clothes. Normally, if you are cutting out your skirt, you have to fold before cutting, right? But this time around, you will not fold your fabric. Just lay it out very well. Then you place the pattern paper on it. You can see how I placed my pattern paper. The fabric is not on fold. The pattern paper is not on fold. So the length of this pattern paper is 41 inches, but I will make this skirt length 60 inches before the gathers. So I'll go ahead and cut out the right hand side. Then I checked the length. I have 60 inches here minus the band. So right now I will go ahead and add extra 10 inches or 8 inches on the left hand side. If you have enough fabric, you should make it 13 inches or 15 inches depending on how full and how long you want those frills to be. You can see I am adding extra 8 inches at the left hand side. So after that, you will connect the lines and then you will cut out. This is the reason why I said you should not fold your fabric when cutting, because this frills is just on one side. So after adding the 8 inches, I went ahead and cut my front out. So the zipper of this skirt will be at the side. I don't want it to be at the back. So this is the front. I will use this front to cut out the back. If you are placing the fabric if you are placing this front on the back, they should be facing each other. So this is the fabric that I'll use for the back. I will go ahead and place the front on it, and remember the right side should be facing the right side of the back. You can see how I placed it. So right now I will use this front to cut out the back. And when I was drafting the pattern, I added 1 inch seam allowance to my skirt pattern. So I'll go ahead and cut out the back. Placing the zip on the side is way better and it is not too stressful. So I'll go ahead and cut out the back, and this is what you have right here. So right now we have one side. The right side is curved. We have our hip curve there, but the other side is straight. So this straight area, this left side, I'll go ahead and hem the edge. I'll go ahead and hem the rough edge. I'll hem the edge of the front and that of the back, because the shaping would not be inside, it will be outside. So I am done hemming the edges of the front and the back. This is the back part, and I have hemmed one side, the straight side. You can see the curvy side. So right now I'll go ahead and gather that curved side, the area that has a hip curve. I'll go ahead and gather it for the back, and I'll also do the same thing for the front. I don't know if you understand. So this is the front. You can see I have hemmed the rough edge of the straight area. Then I'll also go ahead and gather this side. So if you are gathering it, let's say you want the length of your skirt to be 41. After gathering, the length of this gather should be 41 or 39, because you will still add your band to it. So I am done gathering, and I will measure the gathers that I have. I gathered only one side. You can see that I gathered only one side. So I'll go ahead and measure this side that I gathered, and after measuring it, I got 33 inches. I have 33 inches here. This one is for the front. I'll also measure the gathers for the back, and after measuring it, I had 33 inches as well. So the front and the back are equal. So if you're making your gathers, please measure them so that one will not be longer than the other. So this is the back. I'll also go ahead and measure my gathers. So after measuring, I got 33 inches as well. So right now I will join the front and the back together. I will use 1 inch to join the front and the back, and my first joining will be from the inside. You can see I'll place this fabric right side to right side. You can see the gathered area. So I'll go ahead and use 1 inch to join this, and from the waist area you use a loose stitch till the hip area, then you stop, and then use a tight stitch to join the remaining part. Use a loose stitch for the zipper allowance, and then from there you will sew straight down. So right now I will go ahead, and you see I have my zipper allowance right there. I used a loose stitch to join the zipper allowance, and this joining is on the inside. So after that I will join the other side of this skirt, but before I'll do that, I will hem the down part of the skirt. You open it up the way I opened it up, then you go ahead and hem the down part. So you can see how it looks. The joining is on the inside. So right now I will join the left side of the skirt, and the joining of the left side will be from the outside. I will have to sew on the right side of this fabric so that the remaining parts will be my frills. So I will first of all I will measure my waist. Your waist measurement is the most important here. So after measuring your waist, you go ahead and measure the hip. So this is the waist. I'll also measure my hip. My hip is 38. 38 divided by 2 is 19. And please remember to pin down the front and the back part. It will help you while joining, because working with chiffon can be very hard, we all know. So after pinning down, I'll go ahead and measure my hip. So if you measure your hip, you can add extra 1 inch allowance to the hip so that the skirt will not be fitted on your body. So I'll connect from the waist to the hip, and then from the hip I will sew straight down to the full length. So right now I'll take you guys to my sewing machine, and I will show you guys how I gathered this particular area, because you will have to gather this area as well. If you want to use an elastic, fine, but using gathers is way easier. Making gathers is way easier, and it will also help you to determine the length you want your skirt to have. So right now we'll go over to our sewing machine. So you can see I'll start gathering. I'll gather it gradually. So this is the hip area. So as you are gathering, make sure that the length of the right side is the same with the length of the left side. So I am approaching the down part, and when I got there, I had to double stitch, and we have our skirt. So right now I'll open up the zipper allowance area. I'll open up the zipper allowance area. I told you guys that the zipper allowance stopped at the hip line, so I'll go ahead and open it up before adding my band. So if you cut out your band, remember to add a hard interface so that the band will be very firm. So I am done opening up the zipper allowance, and if you are adding your zipper, please maintain the gathers you have around that zipper allowance side. So I have reached the end of this zipper. I'll go ahead and add my band. So before I do that, I will double stitch. I'll double stitch the end of the zipper allowance. So I am done doing that. Right now I will fix my band. So for my band, I will fix it straight up. I will not turn to the front because it may be hard for some of you guys. So if you're working with a chiffon, just add a hard interface, and if you are joining the band to the skirt, just join it straight up. So right now I'll go ahead and join my band. So I am done with the band, and this is how it looks. So right now I'll go ahead and add my zipper, and that will be all for now. So after that, you will have to close the upper part of the frill. You can see the upper part, the rough edge is still there. So you make the right side of the fabric, that is the front and the back, will be facing each other. Then you go ahead and join with 1/2 inch. So at the end of the day, this is what we have. So guys, our July online classes are the registration for our July online classes is ongoing. You have the blazer, the jumpsuits, the corsets, and the Igbo blouse class. So guys, I will drop the link to our Telegram group so that you can join our Telegram group and then follow the process right there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please do not forget to hit the like button so that more people can get to see this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so that when next I upload a video, you will be the first to get notified. Thank you guys so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.